If you're not familiar with them, then they are an emerging and exciting four-piece who met at school. They channel the Ramones as much as they do the Killers, and with a little bit of rock DNA flowing through frontman Eli's veins. But very much a group with drive and determination all of their own. You're going to hear us in conversation shortly, but first here's the title track of the debut album, Inhaler, It Won't Always Be Like This. Inhaler and the title track of their new album, It Won't Always Be Like This. Delighted to say that some of the band, three of the band Inhaler, are with me now. Eli, Josh and Ryan. Welcome to the Key Sessions, gents.
Thank you so much.
Eli, the title track of the album really sums up what we're all feeling right now, but the song's an older one, isn't it? Has it taken on a new meaning to you when you play it, when you think about it, when you talk about it together?
It doesn't to me, but I think the cool thing is it does to everybody who's just hearing the song for the first time. To me, it was always like living in the moment and coming of age, all that teenage stuff that they want to talk about. You know, to me, it still has that feeling, but I think if you're hearing the song for the first time, it has that other connotation, doesn't it? And I think that speaks a lot about the title, and it's connecting with people regardless of if they know about our band or our music or anything like that. So glad that we used that one for the title of the album.
Ryan, it's finally out in the world. How does that feel after everything was on hold for the past year?
It's certainly a weight off our shoulders. I mean, you know, because there was so much uncertainty during the recording process of the album, we were never really too sure when it would come out or if it would ever come out. So, you know, I'm still a bit in denial about the fact that, you know, it's not in our hands anymore. It's out in the world for everyone else to enjoy. We're incredibly proud of it. And, you know, it's, as I said, it's a weight off our shoulders. You know, it's now kind of like the closing of one chapter, and it's time for us to start another now.
Is that a kind of weird feeling for you to think, right, this belongs to other people and now we have to see what they think of it?
Strangest, scariest, most bizarre, but rewarding thing we've ever done. You know, this is a project that we have been working on for, you know, since the start of the band, like 16, 17. And I guess you always imagine what the album's going to like look like, feel like. And I think it just kind of took me by surprise, and it's really just kind of blown all our heads, the reaction. And
tell me about being in the studio then, Josh, because Anthony Genn helped out on the record, produced, he's played with Pulp and Elastica. What did he bring, do you think, to what the four of you were doing? Because any outsider coming into a tightly formed unit is always a challenge, because you guys will know what you want to do.
We've been really lucky with our relationship with Ant. He's basically like the fifth member of Inhaler. Like, he's been working with us from a very young age, and he's really helped us just find our feet live and find our sounds and genuinely he's very hands-on with us and has brought us from the ground up, really. He's just got so much experience under his belt and so much knowledge and just a real passion for making music. So it's just so inspiring being in there with him.
Was there an aesthetic you guys were going for, or did you just want to shut out the outside world in terms of other musical inspirations and just go for what you thought was the purest, the truest representation of you as a band?
With us, all we ever really want to do is just write the best song possible. And wherever the inspiration for that might come from, no one's really closed-minded by it. Of course, during the first lockdown, you know, a nice little present was, I suppose, the new Abnormal, you know, the new Strokes album. A band from Ireland, Fontaine's DC, released A Hero's Death, which we were all listening to religiously. And, you know, we were, again, like I said, we were kind of just, I suppose, pulling inspiration from all these little places, like little hits of songs here and there. You know, there's a song that we listened to a lot during the first part of the summer, a song called Guilty by Lady Ray, which I think definitely helped form sort of the drums on a track on the album called Slide Out the Window. There's definitely elements of various genres and styles of music on the album, and I think that's just a representation of how we consume music, really.
Eli, there was so much momentum behind the band. You were out on tour with Blossoms in America. You were playing so many shows. You were working on the record. Tell me a little bit just about lockdown in terms of being together 24/7, traveling, to being apart for most of last year in lockdown in Dublin. How did that work for the band? And did it allow you to sort of take a little bit of time out from, you know, everything that had been happening and then focus on, okay, this is where we're going with the debut?
Felt like we were missing our legs or something. You know, it was like that's literally half, or more than half really, of what we do is live. And to have that kind of taken away, it was quite bizarre, you know. We were so used to being in that mad, you know, where are we going next day? Just think about the day at hand. You don't really think too much in the future. And then when we came back, it was like a week off, and we were all like, oh yeah, man, 3 weeks. All right, this will be 3 weeks. We'll have a nice little break. This is perfect. You know, then we'll go to America and we'll smash it and it'll be great. Yeah, fast forward like 2 years later and we're still here. I think we keep saying in interviews, because it's true, it's really true. If the lockdown didn't happen, we wouldn't have made as good an album. I think all we could do was just put all our focus and energy into writing songs. And we ended up writing like 5 or 6 new songs for the album. It wasn't the most enjoyable of experiences, say if we had recorded it in the normal world in like Miami or something. But
you'll get there for the second record. Yeah. You deserve that. Your record label has to take you there. You got to do a beat.
Exactly. But no, look, you know, the pressure of the pandemic and the pressure of making the debut album, you know, it was hard at points, but I think that's what made the record what it is.
Events, of course, starting to come into focus. Gigs are back. You've got an 18-date tour of the UK and Ireland planned, including a return to Transmit Festival on the 10th of September. All things going well. What are your memories of playing there back in 2019?
That there was about 7 people to see us.
Perfect. They were in the know.
Yeah, I remember us getting on. I think we were probably like the first people on. It was a tough gig, but like as soon as we came off, we were kind of just like, do you know what? Tough gig, you know, whatever. We just did a festival in Glasgow. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, those are the experiences that we take away from those ones. And I think this one's going to be just as special as every gig that comes after this thing blows over, because there's such a demand for that at the minute. There's such a demand for events and, you know, live music and also just human interaction again. So I think it'll definitely be a special moment stepping back out onto that stage again. And hopefully we get to see you there.
I'll be there, but also, more importantly, at the Barrowlands in Glasgow, which is just such an iconic venue. And there may have been 7 people to see you at Transmit, but you're stepping up if you're playing at the Barras. Eli, is that a venue that factors into your consciousness? Do you know about the Barras? Have you been there before?
Just through pure legend. Yeah. We've heard so much word of mouth about the Barrowlands. Something about the Barrowlands, man, it just sounds inviting.
It's a real achievement, and as I keep telling people, it has a magic to it because it has a sprung dance floor. So when people move with it, the whole thing just sways in this beautiful way. So Inhaler, I know you're going to bring it when you hit the Barrowlands. You have to step up to the mark. That's what it's all about when you get to Scotland, and you guys are more than capable of doing that. It's been a total pleasure to chat to you. We're going to play out with Slide Out the Window. Looking forward to seeing you out on the road and up in Scotland soon, and maybe we'll get to see you at the Quay sessions. But until we do, Eli, Ryan and Josh from Inhaler, thanks very much.
Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Very, very much.